Hi, welcome to the Hennasooq channel. My name is Khadija. I'm here to help you on your henna hair color and Ayurvedic hair care journey. One of the biggest myths out there is that your hair is gonna melt off if you use henna and indigo because of all these metallic salts, all this compound henna, all these other ingredients that can be found in henna, and just that your hair will just become a disaster and you can never go back. So today I'm here to dispel that myth, and I have done that in a lot of videos, so please definitely check out all the videos that we have on henna hair color. It'll give you a lot of clarity on that. Today we're going to be trying out a few methods that I have found in this amazing book that we're actually even mentioned into, which is so exciting. It's called Natural Hair Coloring by Christine Shaheen. This book is a must-have. Great advice in this book. It goes a little bit deeper, like into details. That's why I love it so much. It really talks about men and women and just all these different type of combinations you could do. So it's definitely a great book to have. And I want to try some methods that I found in this book, especially because I want to see, is it true that this will help us find out if our henna and indigo are actually pure or not. So let's get into it. So when indigo is pure, you'll notice that in about 15 to 20 minutes after mixing it with warm to hot distilled water, and it's been sitting there, you'll see this bluish kind of glaze, kind of come over the top layer of the indigo, showing you that it does have dye release. And then if you pull back that top layer, just skim the surface of the paste, you'll see that it'll be still kind of that bright green underneath. And that's how you know that indigo is 100% natural. When wanting to test to see if your indigo is not pure, there's a cool paper towel test I found out about years ago. So you take a piece of paper towel and you lean it into the indigo that you're testing, and you're gonna see how that dye climbs up the paper towel. And as it climbs up, you'll see pure indigo will usually be a nice bluish kind of green tone, or if it's kind of like yellowish greenish, then the indigo probably has also a lower dye content. So, and if it's like really black and kind of browny when it climbs it probably more than likely has chemicals in it. So do not use. So I got a few different kinds. This is liquid henna. Looks like dye basically, because henna does not stay good in a liquid form. There definitely has to be other ingredients in liquid henna products, especially if it's on the shelf like this. It'll definitely have some type of preservative or dye, chemicals, definitely has something else in it. This is not natural henna for sure. Nope, nope, nope. That's a key giveaway right there. This is not natural because it's liquid form. The only way to preserve your henna is to freeze it. Keep it in the freezer. I mean, you could probably get away with using preservatives because of the water in it, but as a dye, henna is used best fresh, or frozen naturally without preservatives because it's not necessary. And just a frozen, it keeps it for 6 to 12 months. And then plus this is black. This is supposed to be like a chocolate brown, and indigo definitely doesn't freeze or preserve very well. And you have other indigo henna blends that definitely are gonna probably have, oh, it's double bagged. Okay, got a double bag over here. Okay. But it definitely has, I don't know, some type of smell. Not describe it. That's that one. This is what it looks like. All right, yeah, that one definitely smells. I know I've been dealing with henna for a really long time, so I could already smell something really off. How do I describe it? It almost went into my mouth. Because the powders do, believe it or not, these powders are going into your system. And it doesn't smell like Hennasooq henna. It doesn't smell like just natural henna. It has other ingredients, and I did read the ingredients. So keep your eye on this one, see how it turns out. And then I have another one here that definitely says black henna. Oh, it's also double packaged. I wonder why they use 2 foil packages. Okay, this one's really different. It's kind of like brown or something. There we go. Yeah, that one's really different. I don't even know if that one has a different smell too much because the other one's already in the air, but it definitely looks way different. You see that? And luckily we don't even need scissors for this because Hennasooqs can be torn right at the seam. Look at that color. This is indigo. 100% pure indigo. Do I need to say anything else about the indigo? Do I really? Or do I not really? So let me show you the henna so that way you can see the difference. And we're gonna be using some of the organic Rajasthani henna. And again, boop, there, and it's open. So easy. I don't even have to grab scissors. And that makes me happy actually. It really does. And this is henna powder. Smells delicious. Delicious. Put a little bit in there. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, pretty. See all the color differences? How very fascinating. This one probably doesn't require any water, but I have some warm to hot distilled water, and I'm going to add it to each one, a little at a time. This one's changing fast. It's starting to look like the other one over there. Yeah, it's starting to look like that liquid one. Huh, interesting. And one of these even said it had sodium lauryl sulfate in it. It had SLS. I have no idea why henna hair color needs to have SLS in it. I don't know, boggles my mind. I have no idea. I don't know, yeah, because it needs to be cleansing at the same time. I have no idea. It's the weirdest thing I ever heard. And yeah, it's just really weird. This one seems the most powdery, I guess you could say. This one definitely does claim to be violet, so it has a lot of other ingredients in it. So luckily they share. But did you know that the FDA does not require ingredients that are 1% or less to be even listed? That's so crazy to me. I think every ingredient should be listed, and that's kind of why I like a lot of the European and Canadian regulations a lot more, because they're kind of a bit more strict and they don't allow certain things. Yeah, how different, right? Like, so different. I mean, this is like way green, you know? That's really just boggles my mind. See the dye release on that. These ones look the same. The henna, of course, looks like henna. Like, you can tell, but I know, see, I'm doing this experimenting to save you guys time. Really, honestly, to save you guys time and to kind of compare and let you know, like, how do I know my henna's, you know, pure, and like, how do I know? All right, so let's see what happens. And these ones look the same already. So, all right, let's watch it and see what happens. I'm gonna use a little piece of paper towel. Put that in there. I'm gonna put that in there, as such. There. So I'm gonna give you 3 tests that you also can do. 3 tests on how to test if your henna is pure henna powder. The glass test. Number 1, 2 pieces of glass. Do not cut yourself. Make sure that these are glass pieces that are not just some shattered glass. Make sure that they're 2 secure pieces of glass that will not cut you. But you can take the little bit of henna as a powder or as a paste. Either way is fine. It's probably gonna be easier to kind of do this with paste, probably, because it'll like squish between the glass really nicely and be easier, rather the powder might fall through really quickly. But the thing is, when it's dry too, you might be able to hear this a little bit better. Oh, try both ways and see, but definitely put a little bit of henna between pieces of glass, rub it together. If you hear a scratchy noise, which you shouldn't, there's probably sand in it. And unfortunately, you'll find a lot of sand in henna powder. Yeah, believe it or not, they use that as a filler sometimes. You got this sand, and you might be wondering, like, why am I washing out all these little extra stuff? Yeah, because of that. And sometimes the henna is just dirty too. Like it's just dirty. You know, got mud and stuff, and that's important. At Hennasooq, no, we don't play with that. You know, when back in the day when we used to be able to get Yemeni henna powder, we realized with some of our samples that they, you know, had some sand in it, because you could hear it and feel it and see, oh, even a mixing, yeah, it was not fun at all. And luckily, like, they stopped that because nobody wants sand in their hair. So do not use. Number 2, the green test. So look at your henna powder. It should be a nice, beautiful, light, vibrant, scrumptious green like this. It shouldn't be like dull and yellow or even like that really brown. Ugh, yeah, no, it needs to look like this. This is what your henna powder should look like. And if you want to test this further, just mix a little bit of that henna powder that you purchased, you know, warm the hot distilled water, mix up really nicely. And if you notice that it's not giving you that, you know, that reddish kind of brown, you know, dye release, and it's a bit more like red, or really like changing some off color, then definitely do not use. That is not pure henna powder. Then number 3 is the frizz test. And this is the ultimate test to check for metallic salts. Now take some hair out of your brush, set that aside, because you're gonna mix up about a teaspoon of henna powder into a paste, and then put that hair into the henna paste that you're mixing. Let that sit for about an hour on the side. And then next, mix 1 ounce of 20 volume hydrogen peroxide with 20 drops of ammonia in a small bowl. And then that dyed hair that you had soaking in the henna paste, place that into that mixture. If nothing happens, you got pure henna. And if you see a reaction like you got melting hair strands, or it's turning green, or some funky things are going on, that is not pure henna powder. That has some metallic salts in it, some trash that is gonna mess your hair up. And that's where those horror stories come from. So do not use. So as you can see, look at the difference in the dye. Like, it's such a huge difference. Do you guys remember which one was the Hennasooq Indigo? The Hennasooq henna powder. I mean, look. Look at that bright orange. That shows you got pure stuff. Look at this. It looks trashy. Ugh. Oh, it looks, it's not natural. Nope. This is the natural indigo. See? That's how it should be staining. That's exactly how you will see that you have good results. Did you know that they have cones that they sell for hair dyeing? Oh, please don't use the cones on your hair. Yeah, don't use these, because you never know what's in it. There's no way to naturally preserve henna for hair dye like this. There really isn't, you know, so don't use it in that fashion. Please, 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 please don't, because yeah. Oh, and it even smells like mentholy. You can smell, if you smell anything that doesn't smell earthy and natural and kind of just, I don't know, guys, I would really be wary. You know, why go to other things that cause all this confusion and are still close to being chemicals at the end of the day? Like, what is almost the point, right? So definitely avoid those, because that probably is a preservative. It smells like it has a really different kind of metallic-y, camphor kind of smell. So again, it has something, and when you can just mix it, and probably it's cheaper. It's cheaper to buy a package of powder and indigo and henna, and then boom, you know, it's long lasting. All these things say that it's henna to some degree, and that's another thing I want to talk about. When henna has a whole bunch of other ingredients in it, it's not pure henna. That's as simple as that. If they have ingredients listed there, read the ingredients. Please read the ingredients. It shouldn't have SLS, it shouldn't have PPD, it shouldn't have any names that are like, you can't even pronounce, that I can't even pronounce. So that way you're using good stuff, you know, definitely good stuff. And when you use good products, you get good color results, and it's consistent. If you're using henna powder that has other ingredients in it, even if it's like 1 or 2, you don't know what those proportions are. Sometimes a henna treatment is proportioned to be like very moisturizing. So maybe there's like a ton of, fenugreek or aloe, or there's just a ton of other ingredients in it that make it, not as potent for hair coloring, because if you're using indigo, you need the indigo to stick to the hair strands really well. Like henna is the foundation of, the basically the henna process. Yes, so henna is that foundation for the indigo to stick really well to the hair strands. So you need to use pure henna powder, not a diluted form of henna powder. So that's key as well. It's very, very, very important. So now that you know how to test your henna and indigo, we've saved all that worry and process for you. All you have to do is get the henna and indigo right here at Hennasooq. You can trust our brand. We have been around since 2005. And this is what I love to do. So let me know what you thought about these experiments. Do you think that they're reliable? Have you tried them before? And you're like, oh yeah, I tried that one out, yeah. This is probably like the most fun one for me. I've been doing this one for years. As soon as I found out about it, I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. I mean, look at this. Hennasooq indigo, Hennasooq henna powder. I mean, it's very apparent. This is as transparent as it gets. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell to get notified. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget. And I have videos for you every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And you're not gonna wanna miss none of them because they're just amazing. So stay tuned. I got so much more lined up for you. I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.